Welcome back to Hidden World Facts. Every video on this channel exists to show you what the world looks like when you pull back the curtain. Today we're going to ancient Egypt. Not the Egypt of textbooks and tourist postcards. The real Egypt. The one full of dark rituals, buried secrets, and facts so unsettling that historians debated whether to publish them at all. The ancient Egyptians built a civilization so advanced, so precise, and so deliberately mysterious that 4,500 years later, with all of our technology, satellites, and supercomputers, we still cannot fully explain how they did it. The Great Pyramid of Giza is aligned to true north with an accuracy of 0.05 degrees. That is more precise than the Greenwich Observatory in London, a building constructed specifically for precision navigation in the 1600s. The pyramid's base is level to within just 2.1 centimeters across its entire 230-meter length. With no lasers, no GPS, no modern surveying equipment, just people, stone, and a level of knowledge we still don't fully understand. The pyramid's hidden chambers. In 2017, an international team of scientists used a technology called muon tomography, essentially cosmic ray imaging, to scan the interior of the Great Pyramid without touching a single stone. What they found stunned the archaeological world. A previously unknown void. A large empty space at least 30 meters long, sitting directly above the Grand Gallery. A space that has existed, sealed and hidden, for 4,500 years. Nobody knew it was there. Not the archaeologists who have spent their careers studying the pyramid. Not the Egyptians who have lived beside it for generations. A secret room, hiding in plain sight, inside the most studied structure in human history. And we still don't know what's inside it. We don't know if it contains objects, inscriptions, or nothing at all. The technology to look without destroying the structure doesn't yet exist. So it sits there, waiting. The dark rituals. But the architecture is only the beginning. The religious practices of ancient Egypt contained rituals so dark that early Western archaeologists deliberately omitted them from their published findings. The practice of execration, one of Egypt's most powerful magical rituals, involved writing the names of enemies, foreign rulers, and even dead pharaohs onto clay pots or figurines, then systematically smashing, burning, and burying them. This wasn't symbolic gesture. The Egyptians believed this ritual caused real physical harm or death to the named target. These curses were performed by state-employed priests on behalf of the pharaoh as an act of official government policy. Egypt didn't just send armies against its enemies. It sent curses. Organized, bureaucratic, state-sponsored magical warfare. Archaeologists have found mass deposits of shattered execration figures outside temple walls, hundreds of smashed clay enemies buried together. The targets included foreign kings, rebellious subjects, and in some cases, the names of the dead, people the Egyptians feared might rise against them, even from the afterlife. The real Book of the Dead. Most people have heard of the Egyptian Book of the Dead, but what most people don't know is what it actually was. It was not a book of history or mythology. It was a practical instruction manual for navigating the underworld after death. A step-by-step guide, personalized for each individual, containing the exact spells, passwords, and declarations needed to pass through each of the 12 gates of the underworld without being destroyed. In the Hall of Two Truths, the deceased's heart was weighed against the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth. If the heart was heavier than the feather, weighed down by sin and wrongdoing, it was immediately devoured by Amit, a creature with the head of a crocodile, the front of a leopard, and the back of a hippopotamus. Not just death, obliteration, the complete and permanent destruction of the soul. No afterlife, no rebirth, just nothing. The Egyptians called this the second death, and they feared it far more than dying itself. Wealthy Egyptians paid enormous sums to have their personal Book of the Dead, written by specialist scribes, with their specific name inserted throughout, ensuring the spells would work for them personally. It was essentially a bribe to the gods, and the industry around it made certain scribes extraordinarily wealthy. The pharaoh's dark power. The pharaoh was not simply a king, he was considered a living god, the physical embodiment of Horus on earth, and upon death, the incarnation of Osiris in the underworld. This gave him an authority so absolute, it is almost incomprehensible by modern standards. When a pharaoh died, his entire household, servants, advisors, wives, were sometimes buried with him, not their possessions, them. Early excavations of royal tombs from Egypt's first dynasty revealed rows of subsidiary burials surrounding the royal tomb. Dozens of people buried at the same time as the king. Analysis of the remains suggests many of them were killed specifically for the burial, sacrificed to serve the pharaoh in the afterlife. This practice appears to have ended by the Middle Kingdom, replaced with Shabti figurines, small statues that would magically serve the pharaoh instead. But for the earliest dynasties, the death of a pharaoh meant the death of his entire court, and nobody questioned it, because to serve the living god in death was considered the highest honor a human being could receive. This is what ancient Egypt actually was, not just pyramids and golden masks. A civilization of terrifying precision, dark spiritual power, state-organized magic, and a relationship with death so complex and sophisticated that it generated an entire industry of priests, scribes, and craftsmen for 3,000 years. 3,000 years. To put that in context, the time between Cleopatra and today is shorter than the time between the first pharaoh and Cleopatra. Egypt didn't just build monuments, it built a complete architecture of power, belief, and control that lasted longer than any civilization in human history. And we've barely scratched the surface. That hidden void inside the Great Pyramid is still sealed, still waiting. Whatever is inside it has not been seen by human eyes since the reign of Khufu. And when we finally open it, everything we think we know about Egypt may change again. Subscribe to Hidden World Facts, because when that chamber opens, we'll be the first to break it down for you.